Trust isn't just a soft skill, it's a strategic asset. Like Navy SEALs who survive BUD/S only by trusting each other with their lives, top-performing organizations treat trust as the foundation of every result. Harvard research shows that teams without trust aren't really teams at all. They are groups of individuals, often making disappointing progress no matter how talented. Today, you'll see how a top SEAL team insight can be adapted for business leaders, and you'll learn how companies like Four Seasons create emotional commitment, sometimes starting with something as simple as a coffee bar interaction. Before we get there, let's examine what happens when trust is missing. If you're new here, please subscribe and like, because I share tips to help you improve your career. Low trust in a team doesn't just slow things down, it changes how people behave. In environments where trust is thin, you'll notice employees hesitating to speak up, even when they spot a problem. Sinek describes how, in the absence of trust, team members hold back critical information, fearing the consequences. In one well-known airline incident, crew members knew a decision was risky, but didn't feel safe enough to challenge it, leading to a costly mistake that could have been avoided if psychological safety were present. The symptoms show up in everyday moments. Communication becomes reactive. Instead of open discussions, people default to brief texts or emails, avoiding direct engagement. Meetings grow quiet, with team members waiting for cues from leaders rather than contributing ideas. This reluctance to share isn't just about shyness, it's a direct response to a lack of trust. Mistakes are hidden rather than addressed, as employees worry about blame or public criticism. Sinek points out that when trust is missing, people will go to great lengths to avoid admitting errors, which means problems linger and lessons go unlearned. The consequences of this environment add up quickly. Project delays become common as people wait for multiple approvals and double-check each other's work. Instead of collaborating to solve issues, departments spend hours reconciling conflicting data or clarifying responsibilities. High turnover is another signal. Employees in low-trust teams often feel unsupported or undervalued, prompting them to look for opportunities elsewhere. This churn disrupts progress and forces leaders to spend valuable time and resources on constant recruitment and onboarding. Leadership behaviors play a crucial role. Micromanagement and inconsistent messaging signal to teams that they aren't trusted to make decisions. Compare this to the Four Seasons, where employees are empowered to resolve guest issues on the spot, creating a sense of ownership and safety. In contrast, at organizations where leaders take credit for wins but assign blame for losses, people quickly learn to protect themselves rather than the team. These patterns aren't always dramatic, but their impact is real. When conversations are replaced by cautious emails, and when team members focus on self-preservation instead of shared goals, trust is quietly leaking away. Yet, there are teams that operate differently, where trust unlocks speed, innovation, and genuine collaboration. If you're finding this helpful, please subscribe and like, because it helps us create content that matters to you. Also, if you want to take your skills further, check out our executive education and executive coaching programs at execdeet.com. At the Four Seasons, high trust shows up in the daily rhythm of work. Managers check in with their coffee bar team each morning, not to monitor, but to ask what support they need. Baristas feel safe to speak up about mistakes or customer feedback, knowing their input matters and won't be met with blame. This atmosphere of psychological safety means employees are quick to share ideas, learn from errors, and help each other adapt to new challenges. The result is a team that anticipates issues before they escalate and delivers consistently strong service, even under pressure. High-trust teams share two core dynamics. First, there is safety to admit mistakes and treat them as learning opportunities. Pixar's approach is a clear example. They hold failure festivals where teams openly discuss what went wrong on a project, not to assign blame, but to extract lessons and spark new creative solutions. This openness encourages experimentation and innovation, since team members know they will be supported if things don't go as planned. Second, decision rights are pushed downward, empowering people closest to the action. The U.S. Marine Corps builds trust by making recruits rely on each other from day one. Success depends on teamwork, not individual achievement. In high-stakes moments, Marines trust their peers' judgment, just as SEAL teams do under fire. In business, this looks like frontline staff solving customer problems on the spot, or junior employees making key calls without waiting for layers of approval. The speed and agility that result are a direct product of mutual reliance and respect. Leadership sets the tone for these dynamics. Francis Fry's research highlights 3 elements that drive trust: authenticity, logic, and empathy. Leaders who are honest about what they know and don't know, explain their reasoning clearly, and show genuine concern for their teams build deep trust. When a pharmaceutical CEO publicly admitted to a major miscalculation, his candor prompted his team to suggest dozens of improvements within weeks, a response rooted in trust, not fear. If you want to build this kind of environment, start with practical steps. Run a mini failure festival on a recent project and invite open discussion about what could have gone better. Use Simon Sinek's challenge and support method. Celebrate wins publicly, discuss lessons privately, and offer coaching one-on-one. These habits reinforce that mistakes are part of growth and that everyone has a role in shared success. When teams operate with this level of trust, barriers fall away and progress accelerates. Instead of focusing on frameworks, let's return to a simple but powerful example: the Four Seasons Coffee Bar. There, trust isn't built through big speeches. It's in the daily habit of managers asking, "How can I help you?" This small gesture makes employees feel seen and supported, fueling their pride in their work. This week, try that approach yourself. Walk past someone's desk or send a quick message and ask how you can help, just like those Four Seasons managers. Notice the difference it makes in your team's openness and energy. Let us know in the comments which trust-building question you'll ask this week. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like, because it helps us bring you more free videos. And if you're ready to grow your career, visit execbeat.com to learn about our executive education and coaching.